Yeah. BCMG, motherfucker. Shit. Niggas out here talking all that hot shit. About to finally realize they not shit. Skrilla. That's what I'm after, my nigga.
I really wasn't going to say anything in regards to Lord Jesus, this man losing his life all over TV. This one, I've seen a lot of the police videos where they're killing people, black people, and I generally don't say anything because there's always two sides to every story. Also, my brother is a police officer, so I try not to really say anything until I know all there is to know. So I waited, and I waited to see what they were going to pull out their ass for this one. But what really is bothering me is the fact that there's no way I could stand anywhere and watch someone lose their life. I'm a whole nurse. And just like they took an oath, I take an oath. And there's no way I would have had to take a bullet. I'd have had to take a taser, whatever they was coming with, because they'd have got bum rushed. Because that is just psychotic to stand there and record someone losing their life and voiding their bowels. The cops are wrong. Dead wrong. All the way around. But the people that stood there and watched, yeah, they screamed, oh, stop, stop, but they didn't do anything to actually stop them people from killing that man. I'm sorry. There's just some things that you should not stand by and watch take place. That is just so desensitized, so inhumane what they did, and I couldn't have just stood there. I mean, it just I just couldn't have just stood there. I don't understand the era that we're in, that everything must be recorded, but nobody does anything. The recording is to protect you, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to sit there and watch someone die as long as you record it. I mean, we had a whole firefighter out there who did nothing but yell and scream. To me, it was no more than what the cop did, yelling, oh, don't do drugs and get out the street. Like, no one was really trying to save that man's life, or they would have saved his life. And now we have martial law coming into play. We have people burning buildings. And at this point, I can't even be mad at them. Because at what point is our lives taken into consideration? We're losing our brothers, our sisters. Because it's no longer just the men, it's the women too. It doesn't really matter what your sex is at this point, as long as you fit the criteria to be exterminated. Like, we're like roaches at this point. You see a roach in your house, you just, and it doesn't even faze you. That is the point we are at. And it's sickening. I mean, it's really sickening to know that there are still people out here yelling, oh, well, what did he do? There is nothing he could have done short of pull a gun on them that would have warranted that. The man had no guns, no knives, no nothing. He wasn't resisting arrest, and that been proven. Like, the thing is you're already scared to go out. Then you have these cops that are bum rushing people's houses, killing people in their sleep, in their house, minding their business, not breaking the law, have no criminal backgrounds, just normal, everyday, average citizens that are trying to make it. EMTs, people that are out here trying to save lives, and you fuckers are killing them for no reason. So at what point What critical turning point did you expect everything to be peaceful? Peaceful went out the door when you sat there blank faced, cold hearted, demons flowing from top to bottom, and you killed that man. You felt him stop breathing. You can't tell me you didn't. He voided himself. You can't tell me you didn't notice. And you still remained on top of this man. The sad part is, our kids watch this, and respect isn't given anymore, it's earned. So how do we tell our kids to respect cops when this is what they have to look forward to? I know it's not all cops. That's what everybody yells. It's not every cop. But here's my problem. For all you out here that's yelling, it's not every cop, where are the good cops at? And what I mean by that is, every time I see this happen, it's 50 million cops around that may not have actually participated, but did nothing to stop it, which makes you just as guilty in my book as a person that actually did it. You're not speaking out. You're not out here with the protesters. Maybe if you cops were out here with the protesters, it wouldn't have gotten to the point that it got. People are tired. People are frustrated. People are scared. Cops run around yelling they're scared for their lives, and they are armed from teeth to nail. We walking around this motherfucker with our fingernails. Of course we're scared. I have to drive every day to work. I have to drive home every day. I'm black as midnight. So every time a cop pulls me over, my heart drops because I don't know if this is a good cop or a bad cop. That's the thing cops don't understand. I don't know if you're going to come kill me or if you're just going to give me a ticket. There is no way I can tell until the actual incident is taking place. So that makes you scared to go out. Then, now they're coming to your homes. So where exactly are we supposed to feel safe? You can't feel safe in your home. You can't feel safe walking down the street. You can't feel safe in your vehicle. If they even think you got a gun, they're going to shoot you just because there have been plenty of instances where the civilian has told the cop, I have a registered gun in my car, and the cop just starts firing. If I was going to shoot you, why would I tell you that I have a gun? But you're going to shoot me anyway. Like, it's ludicrous. It's insane. I'm trying my best to not curse and be belligerent because it's enough of that going around right now. At some point, someone has to use some type of intelligence to realize all that you're doing is feeding into what they want you to do. They want you to be out here acting like animals, ripping things apart, because then that gives them the right to say, well, see, we told you, y'all are animals. That's why we treat you this way. My thing is, animals don't protest. Last time I checked, I've never seen an animal have a riot yet. So we're not animals. We're upset human beings that don't know another way to express ourselves at this point, because we've begged, we've pleaded, we've hashtagged Black Lives Matters, and when you do that, oh God, that means you don't care about any other human being, and that is not the case. The case is, how many of these do you see? This white guy I saw steal a cop truck the other day, beat a couple cops with their own baton. They never pulled a gun, a taser, or anything, and stood there and watched the man drive off in their car. Mind you, he was Caucasian. I get it. Black people are one of the few people that do not stand up for each other. And white people always been on that buddy-buddy shit. But that's the problem. That's why they succeed in everything that they do, whether it be destroying people, whether it be taking over countries, because them motherfuckers stick together like glue. They're like a house of amoebas. They don't work singular. They work together. If we could get half of the togetherness as a Mexican family, we would be all right. But black people have been trained and taught to be envious of each other. So as long as we're divided, it's easy to bump us off. It's really easy. It's not hard, because They know we're not working together. Black men want a white woman. Black women is mad at black men. Like, it's an ongoing cycle. And we keep feeding into the same old bullshit. I honestly think we're all crazy. I'm not crazy, but I honestly think, in a generalized term, we are all crazy because we keep doing the same exact shit over and fucking over and fucking over and getting the same fucking results and expecting something different. And that is the clinical definition of insanity. Like, you gotta be fucking crazy to keep doing the same shit and expecting to get something different. It don't work that way. But it literally makes you not want to send your kids to school because they're shooting up schools. But mind you, the ones that shoot up schools, the little white kids that shoot up the schools, they wind up making it to their trial dates. You got people getting pulled over for simple not wearing seatbelts and getting their head blown off. It's psychotic, and it has to stop. It's not even a need. It has to stop, because if it doesn't stop, the shit is seriously going to hit the fan. And when it hits the fan, all that I told you so's, and when they got into the White House, that's when I knew if things don't change real soon, real change, not we talking about it, we thinking about it, but a real change take place, it's going to be a whole lot of dead people. Because the way I figure, the way most people are thinking at this point is, they going to kill me anyway. I might as well get my motherfucking licks in. And with that frame of mind, knowing you're going to die anyway, it's not leaving a whole lot of room for the people that are innocent in this. It's innocent business owners being jacked over because their businesses are being set on fire, but nobody burned up Cup Foods, which started the whole goddamn trauma. But they're still standing. See, that's the thing that irks me. If I'm a riot, I'm not gonna riot in my neighborhood where I gotta go shopping. I'm gonna go riot in their neighborhood where they gotta go shopping. Like, make it make sense, Lucy. If you're gonna do the shit, do it correctly. I'm not saying riot, but if you're going to riot, destroy they shit. Don't destroy your own neighborhoods. But see, that's the thing. Black people are still scared of shit. And that's the funniest thing to me of this whole thing. We operate in fear. Whereas the cops swear they operate in fear, but I didn't see no fear on none of them people's faces. They weren't scared for their lives. They're never scared for their lives. And if they are, they shouldn't be police officers. Because someone told me, well, black people go by the code, snitches get stitches, but you fussing about cops. Well, not all black people go by that code. But here's the thing. Black people are not out here getting paid to be black. We didn't go to school to be black. We didn't take an oath to be black. We don't take oaths to serve and protect anyone. And it's a common sense kind of thing. White people kill white people all the time. Asians kill Asians all the time. Mexicans kill Mexicans all the time. Black people kill black people all the time. And the reason that is because generally speaking, when you get into an altercation, it's with the person that you live around or in your neighborhood. It's not somebody from across the tracks. So if I live in the ghetto and all my neighbors are black and I wind up having an altercation, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be with a black person. So yeah, that's probably why black people kill black people, because that's who we live around. We're not living around white people like that. We don't live around a lot of people like that. Mexicans, same thing. White people, same thing. And that's the funniest thing to me, is everybody always yells about black on black crime, like that's the only crime that takes place, when every race has crime against itself. Whether it be white collar, blue collar, that's all white folks. You know, niggas doing no white collar, blue collar crimes every blue moon. But for the majority, it's white folks committing crimes against white folks. They out here stealing from each other. They out here extorting each other. It's generally the people that are in your circle are the people that you wind up beefing with, the people you wind up shooting, killing, all that. Generally people around you. It's generally not, I'm going to get up and go all the way to Beverly Hills to have an altercation when I live in Compton. Like, so it irks the living hell out of me to hear that black on black crime, or it's the same as snitching, and it's not. Like, sorry, black people have learnt behavior from our slave masters, meaning the way we act is the way we were taught to act. No different from any other race that has been held in bondage and don't know where they're from, don't know their names, don't know their ancestors, don't know their original language. These are the consequences. But we were made this way. And again, we have no control over being black. These scary ass motherfuckers have control over being a cop. Most of the time, the people that become cops are the people that get bullied in school, are the people that can't make it in the army because they're scary. These are generally your cops. Not all, but a lot. I've been around a number of cops. I was married to a police officer. My brother is a police officer. I've always had a lot of faith in cops. But with the way things are going, it literally sucks all the faith out of you, because it's like you never know when it's going to be your time to run into Mr. Wrong Cop. And it seems to be a whole lot more of them now than it was. And I can't even say that. Maybe it's because it's being more televised now. But it's more visual now. Like, unless you were experiencing it yourself, you didn't really, you heard about it, or you'd hear an instance, but you personally didn't get to visually see it. You can't say it's not there when you're seeing it every day. I don't even consider this a race thing at this point, because they're not just killing us. They killing pretty much anything with any type of melanin color in them. So it's to the point where somebody got to do something. And we know it's not going to be the president, because that's not his makeup. It's really sad to want to move away from your country, because your country treats you like the shit on the bottom of its shoe for no apparent reason. I've been working my whole life. The most I've ever had running with a cop is a traffic ticket. I've never been in trouble for selling drugs, prostitution, assault, aggravated assault, robbery, none of that. I have nothing on my background but a couple of traffic tickets. And that wouldn't save me if I got pulled over by the wrong cop, because it just wouldn't. At this point, I honestly feel like each individual race should police themselves, because we can't trust you motherfuckers. It's just that simple. You don't know about our culture. You refuse to learn about anything besides the fact we got fat asses and our hair is curly or nappy. Like, it's just such stereotypical bullshit out here. You live next to these type of people all day, every day. I've lived around white people. I've got half white brothers and sisters. I was raised around all types of walks of people. I'm from LA, so your next door neighbor could be Samoan and the one on the other side Pakistani. It's just that simple. So I never had the racist bent that a lot of people have, and black people can be racist. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Just because we can't physically oppress anyone doesn't mean we can't be racist, and doesn't mean we can't cause problems for that said race. I mean, you get enough Negroes together that don't like white people, there can be a problem. So I don't believe in that. Black people can't be racist. Matter of fact, I got a couple cousins that's racist as shit. So, I feel any person can be racist, because all it takes is hating your heart for another individual based solely on the color of their skin, which is psychotic. I've seen 2 white people have a black baby. I've seen 2 black people have a white baby. So really, it's just psychotic. But to sit there and take a man's life for no other reason than to take his life, you didn't have a vendetta against this man. You didn't even know this man. It's just sickening. It literally, I don't cry. I really don't cry. I can't remember really just ever really being a crier. This one had tears in my eyes, because it's just sad. This guy's kids got to grow up without a daddy. His girlfriend got to grow, old without him by her side. All of these things that he lost out on because he didn't get to finish his life because somebody just decided it was time for it to end it's psychotic. It really makes me want to move clean the fuck to the middle of the jungle where ain't another human being at. Because at this point, I'd rather deal with snakes and scorpions and everything else than to deal with man, because man is very, very evil. Animals, they kill you to live. That's so they can eat, nourishment to their body. I understand that, because we kill animals for the same reason, to eat, nourishment to the body. Then you have the psycho class that kills them for sport, which makes not a zero bit of sense. But they have now started killing us for sport. We are like the new antelope or jackalope or whatever species they're exterminating at this point. And it's sad. I mean, it's just so sad that we can't come together even for this. And the only come together that can be devised is destruction, which is only going to lead to further destruction. I don't know. I'm praying for the United States of America right now, because I honestly do not think we're going to have a United States much longer. It's bad enough we're fighting COVID, which, personally speaking, I believe the government created. I don't think this shit just popped up out of the blue. They told us it started in March. People had COVID all the way back in November, okay? So I don't believe shit the government says at all. Not even a little bit. I do my research and I keep it pushing. But I leave you to do your own research on that and come up with your own conclusion. But we're still being lied to right now. That's just like these piece of shit ass things right here. These ain't stopping nobody from getting COVID. Yet and still everybody is required to wear one. For what, aesthetics? Because that's all they are. It says on the side of the box that you buy, pay attention. It says it will not keep you from getting COVID. So what the fuck are you wearing it for? Please, someone in the comments, tell me, why would you wear a mask supposedly that's going to help you with COVID but does not do anything for you from COVID? Okay, it does hinder respiratory. If you have asthma or a cold, you're breathing all that crap right back in. Like, it's more harm than it is a help. Yet the government says we have to wear them. And you idiots are running around wearing them. I refuse. I have asthma. I smoke. I'm not wearing shit that's going to make me breathe any worse than I already freaking breathe. And why do I smoke? Well, let's see. I'm stressed the fuck out. And why the fuck am I stressed the fuck out? Because I don't know when the fuck somebody going to pull a gun on me and blow my fucking brains out. Like, at this point, I'm surprised the whole world ain't smoking. It's just, something's got to change. I'm not finna harp on this all day. Every channel on YouTube is harping on it. All I want to say is everybody in that whole damn area was just as guilty as them cops. Everybody's like, oh, but they'll shoot them. Nigga, that's just a bullet I'd have to take. But I can guarantee you somebody would have been recording it. And so my ass and anybody else's would have at least had that. Because you don't just sit there and watch somebody die. That's just the most despicable thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I've seen a lot of death. But that one there was just above and beyond. Like, how many times... Like, I started to tell my husband to go to the store the other day. That Negro looked over at me like, go where? You better have this shit brought to the door. I'm not going nowhere. Boys is out there today. Mind you, my husband is a retired veteran. No criminal background. But he black as I am. So, a law-abiding citizen who pays his taxes, owns property, and all of this shit. Own your own business. Pretty much do whatever you can to help anybody. Scared to go to the store. Because you don't want to have to deal with the cops. Because you don't want to come up missing. That's crazy to me. Growing up, I was never scared to go outside. There's cops up and down my street all the time. Never bothered me. Now I see a cop and I start sweating. And I haven't even done anything. I don't have any drugs on me, any guns on me, anything. But just because DWB in it, make a nigga want to spray paint just to go outside the house. It's crazy. And I have a very, very sneaky suspicion it's only going to get worse before it gets better. I pray, because doing what the cops say does not save your lives anymore. So telling you to just listen and do what they say, like I've been telling people, that's a goddamn lie. That's a lie. I done seen plenty of people listen and do what they say. I hate when bugs get in my car. I'm sitting outside at the hospital waiting on my mother-in-law to finish her appointment, and freaking flying bugs crawling all over my car. But anyway, like I said, I'm not gonna stay on here too much longer ranting about this. I honestly do believe, though, that this has got to stop, because if this doesn't stop, it's gonna be a whole war in the middle of the United States. Because the military is not the only ones with guns. And I work right now for a company that does shipping and delivering. And I can tell you, 90% of the Americans, they loading up on artillery right now. That's all that's coming through this motherfucker. And it's not going to the military. It's going to people, regular, everyday people. So it's going to be a war, and it's coming real soon. And I don't think we're going to have cops after that. I keep trying to tell my brother, like, find another career, because this ain't going to cut it. Even though you're a good cop and your company ain't done nothing wrong that you know about, doesn't mean that you're going to be spared when all the shit hits the fan. Because I highly doubt they're going to pick and choose who the fuck they want to try to kill. I honestly don't believe that. But leave your comments down in the comment section. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think this is not going to get worse before it gets better. Because it's only been constantly getting worse anyway. Now we've got these people breaking into the White House. Which, hey, kudos to you, because I never thought anybody would be dingy enough to do it. But at this point, I can understand why. I'm not mad at them for the looting. I'm not mad at them for the rioting, because when they tried to do it peaceably, they were bombed and gassed. And that's just why. You got cops out here acting like they're part of the riots and part of the marching and stuff, and they're just out here inciting it, making it worse, starting fires, and then blaming it on the populace. Like, you guys are not making it no better. You're just making it worse and worse and worse. Instead of ceasing and desisting, take a couple days, take a step back. No, you full force forward. Make it worse. I honestly believe all this is going on so they can try to keep Trump in office. I ain't even joking. Because if he deems martial law across the country, he ain't got to go nowhere till he decides to take martial law off. And that's my only problem with the looting and the rioting, is that's what he's trying to incite. So that way he can lock down this whole goddamn state. And I don't know if you guys know, but in the middle of martial law, ain't no switching presidents, boo-boo. I don't know. These are just thoughts to think on. I'm praying for everyone. I don't care what your color is, because at this point, I don't think it's just one color that needs to be outraged. I think every human being that saw that should have been outraged, because it could have easily been anybody's daughter, son, child. Because I honestly don't see it just being black people. I've watched some where there's white people. I've watched some where there's Mexicans. It's just a higher demographic when it comes to black people. So, honestly, like I said, I'm praying for everyone's safety, because not only do we have to worry about a pandemic, but an epidemic, a racist one, however you'd like to see it. The cops are out for blood, and we are the bloodlets. So everyone be safe. I'm almost under the impression if you see a cop, run. But don't listen to me. Unless you can run really fast, because I done seen some boys smoke them boys. But with that, they'll just shoot you in the back and say you had a gun. So it's not even worth it. Honestly, just stay out of trouble if you can. And if you can't, you might want to invest in moving to another country. That is all. I will be doing a mukbang probably this afternoon or tomorrow. Once I edit it, I'll upload it. Y'all have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time.